Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Jim Starlin. So, sir, you've got several huge projects coming up right now. You've got two Kickstarters.
Two Kickstarters through Ominous Press. One's an art book. They're calling them the Black Books over there. The art of book. A lot of artwork that saw very little exposure or none whatsoever. They came and approached me about it, and I went through my files and I said, gee, I'd really like to have people see this one. And so we started pulling them out, and it all worked out. And the other one is Mind Games, which is the first of a four-part set of novels, which I'm calling the Hardcore Station series. And this one's illustrated. About a year and a half ago, I blew a hole in my hand, and so I can't draw anymore. And this I had done beforehand, so this is the one of the four that's going to actually be an illustrated novel as it was planned, and the other three will be text novels. We're working on the publisher right now. So, but those two are the books that are coming out through Ominous Sleeping Giant right now, and we're doing it on a Kickstarter thing.
It's fantastic. So I'm going to put links and such in the description below so that can be seen. How long is that Kickstarter on for?
Let's see, I think it's until sometime, like somewhere in the teens in July.
Okay, so plenty of time.
It's got a little bit of time left. We've reached our initial goal, and now I guess it's sort of in the taking orders. I've never done a Kickstarter before.
That's fine. So you're in stretch goals at this point.
We're in stretch goals, yes.
Not my first.
I didn't know that term before.
No worries, no worries.
And
okay.
Basically, I didn't realize it, but initially this is the only place you're going to be able to get copies of this. You know, eventually they'll get a distributor like IDW or somebody to send it around the bookstores, but initially you got to be part of Kickstarter to get copies of the book.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Or whatever other side benefits they offer.
Okay. So it may go to IDW then?
I just pulled them out of the air.
Gotcha.
I know it's not going to go to Marvel or DC.
You're good at shopping around. That's fantastic.
They don't do that sort of thing.
And these are, of course, your own creator-owned projects.
A lot of them are DC and Marvel, like variant covers that never got seen. Maybe some concept drawings that never got used. There's a few other things that most folks haven't seen. You know, you probably will come across one or two pictures in the book that you've seen before elsewhere, but the majority of it, it's kind of rare stuff.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, well, can't wait to see that. Yeah, if it's already, both of them have already, they're already in their stretch goal section then, right?
Yeah, the projects
fantastic.
are done. You know, I did it before we actually started the Kickstarter, and they're coming down sometime in the middle of July. We'll have the thing going, and I guess they'll start shipping the books off somewhere in August, from what I hear.
Fantastic, fantastic. Can we talk about a little bit about some of your past work?
Sure.
How do you feel about what has been done with KG Beast? Most recently in the DC Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that he's there. You know, he's under his Russian name, which I can't recall right at the moment. But
Kniev, something like that. No.
Yeah, it's something unpronounceable. But basically, it was kind of a surprise seeing him there. You know, I knew the Marvel stuff was coming out ahead of time, sort of. And but when they threw him into Batman, Superman, it was kind of a pleasant surprise.
It was a surprise. I was a little shocked. I was like, wow, really? How did you feel about him being resurrected, so to speak? Was it your original plan that he die permanently in the original run that you had?
I figured as much, but you know, nobody, if it's popular, nobody dies in comic books.
We could talk about
Captain
Marvel.
Yeah, well, he's an exception rather than the rule.
Everybody goes back to Uncle Ben, but I have to remind people, Marvel. they've been
Uncle
very
Ben
good
had
about
a much shorter run. I think one issue.
Yeah. I'm actually really crying on the inside because I have that comic book, a first edition mint, and I meant to bring that. I brought my camera, I brought my wife, I brought my kids. I forgot my comic book.
You should have left the kids behind.
So I was thinking. We got food lying around someplace. Anyway.
Yeah, those covers are full. All you have to do is learn how to get up to them. Yeah.
They're a little older.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, characters like Dreadstar. because you've got so many characters that you've created. Characters like Dreadstar. Was there ever any plans for you to do anything else with Dreadstar?
Well, we're talking about that at Ominous, possibly trying to start off with putting everything into one big collection. I'm actually scanning pages before I came to this convention, and probably for 3 weeks afterwards. I hadn't realized how many pages there were. There's like over 1,200 pages of Dreadstar material that we want to get into one volume, or at least, you know, one kind of package. It looks like it's probably going to have to be 3 books at a minimum, just because you can't do much more than 500 without herniating your readers.
So you just answered my next question, about 500 pages per book?
I think we're going to talk around somewhere around that area.
That's fantastic. Full color and everything?
This is really at the planning stage. Yeah, well, full color.
Okay.
Except for the pages that were done black and white to begin with.
Of course.
You know, it'll be a nice little project, and maybe something for next year. We're really just at the planning stages of it at this point. Okay. And I probably shouldn't be talking about it on camera, but I am anyhow.
I can edit something out if you'd like.
No, this is
okay.
I've done it. Live with it.
Okay. How about characters like, for instance, you pretty much made the entirety of the Affinity Watch minus Moonstar.
Right. Moondragon.
Moondragon.
Yes.
You see, I'm still.
And I gave her the name, though.
You gave her the name?
Yeah, she was Madame Keevil to start off with.
Madame Keever?
McKeevil.
McKeevil.
Yes.
So like Evil McKeevil?
Yeah, something like that.
That's fantastic.
She was an Iron Man villain or something like that. And,
okay.
You know, I used her for some reason, and when I got around to the watch, I said, "Hey, I like her. She's bald."
And was it your idea to make? Okay.
Yeah.
Was that your idea to make her Drax's daughter?
Yes. They wanted some kind of 2-page origin story. And they ended up sticking it in Daredevil for some reason. She was appearing in there in the storyline. Yeah, I just connected it up because I had the whole thing of Art Douglas, the Destroyer, having his family killed, and one of them survived. So, and I think, yeah, we have a drawing of her walking away from the crash. So, yeah, she was always planned. Once I got into it, this is long before we got to the watch, so some of these things just work out by accident sometimes.
Worked out well. How about a character like Mongol? Where'd you come up with this idea?
Well, Mongol, I was working at Marvel and got pissed off and left, and I went over and I wanted to do a Thanos over at DC, and that's what Mongol is. He's basically that. No bones about it. He's nowhere near as good as the original, but, you know, I had some fun with it. We were doing those Superman stories, team-up books, and he was a fun villain to have. You know, when you're doing Superman, you got to have a really good villain, because he has so little personality that you have to have some personality in the story, even if it's dark.
It's still good. He's been in a lot of really good stories, so it obviously worked. Okay, so back in the day, Richard Dragon was a book.
Right.
After Iron Fist worked over at Marvel, they decided to bring, just say his name, Richard Dragon over to DC. And then there was another martial artist, Shang-Chi, which I think you had a little something to do with.
Yeah, in an odd sort of way.
Like actually creating him.
Yeah. Steve Englehart and I created him together with a lot of input from Stan, actually.
Oh.
Stan approved all the designs on the characters, and he was responsible for putting Fu Manchu into the book.
Yes.
I had never read a Fu Manchu book.
They just bought the property and.
Yeah, he got the rights from the wife, Sax Ronner's wife or something like that, and so we did up the first issue, and Larry Hama came up to me and said, "Have you ever read one of these books?" And I went, "No," and the next day he gave me one, and I was kind of shocked how racist they were. I had no idea, and so I didn't last on that book long, just enough to create it, get embarrassed, and leave.
You made Midnight Sun also.
Yeah, he was in there. It was very easy to draw, all black.
Fantastic. Okay, since you brought it up, just a quick little controversy settling. Did Stan Lee have a lot to do with the creative process?
It depended on the time and place. You know, maybe Ditko and Kirby were the driving creative forces behind it, but Stan made these characters likable. And you can see it just in writing that Steve and Jack did after they stopped working with Stan. By the time I got there, he had an office there still, and he would come in around noon, and my first job was working out cover layouts for the artist to pencil, and so I'd work with him on that. Then they sent him out to California, and he started selling movie rights, and by the time Howard the Duck came along, he came into the office and wanted to know who Howard was. So, you know, he drifted off, but he's always kept his finger in the pot. And, you know, I mean, when I was doing Shang-Chi, he was up at the office there, at least in the afternoons, and, you know, he decided what designs we were going to use for him. And so he was there on that. You know, it all changes. Everything changes as time goes on. And Stan, now 92, so no input at all at this point, but you know, he's still the father of everything.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, with your future projects, do you have any more ideas for new characters, creator-owned characters?
I do, but I can't talk.
No, understood, understood.
Yeah,
but you do have some plan. Okay, that's fantastic.
The Hardcore Station will keep me busy for next year because I've written 3 of the books and I have the 4th one left to write, and there's some interest in that elsewhere. That's a project that's going to keep me busy. But you know, other than that, a little hazy on what I can say about it.
No pressure. No pressure. Mr. Starlin, I want to thank you so much for showing up. Guys, don't forget to check out the Kickstarters, both of them, and you could be a part of it. You could be. Here's your chance to be on the ground floor of it. All right, and that's going to be.
Throw me your money.
That's an easy thing to do with you. So, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, with Mr. Jim Starlin. Class dismissed.